They got to be able to solve these issues. They got to be able to protect the enterprises. They have to be able to deal with these new vectors. And I'm going to be a little bit more tough on them. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to meet your expectations this year, right? Because people, and when I say people, I mean enterprises, were thinking about ways to roll out AI, and they still are. And I think back at the beginning of things, you had the AI that was going to be built into the vendor tools, but then you also had AI that was going to happen outside of the vendor tools, and how are we going to protect, you know, that AI, and that's morphed into agentic AI, and it's its whole thing right now. So I think we're going to see more meat on the bone this year, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I think meat on the bone is a good way to look at it. I mean, you got to be able to do some stuff with this stuff, and we pivoted into a new area. All the R&D has been going on the AI stuff in the security space. It's been kind of taken away from the traditional stuff that enterprises still depend on. I think my clients, and I'm sure your clients, are a little concerned about that. And so, if we are going to focus the R&D and the innovation on protecting the AI systems or AI weaponization, things like that, yeah, we got to actually have some value that comes out of this, and this is what it's going. This is what I'm going to look at for this year at RSA. So why don't you tell everybody what RSA is if they've never attended it? What is, as a conference? What do they cover?
Yeah, so RSA is probably the premier security conference that everyone goes to, right? And it's generally at Moscone in San Francisco, and it generally happens in the second or third week of March. And what I like about it is that it's agnostic, right? It is not one vendor specific. And so you tend to get all these great minds in the security space coming together to share their ideas. There's wonderful talks that happen. I think this year there's going to be like 600 different exhibitors. So it's a very robust show floor, and it covers just about all the different aspects of security. So if we think about security happening in buckets, you think about the network security that's happening, and whatever that falls into that bucket of things. And you think about application security, and that's a whole nother bucket. And you think about cloud security, and that's a whole nother bucket. And people could argue that there's crossover between the buckets, and then there absolutely is. But everybody, all the buckets are going to be represented at RSA, and that's really appealing to me.